So yes, here we start. My mother at 66. Today we are going to see the figures of speech. Now, what are figures of speech? They are poetic devices. They are like ornaments given to the poet. The more the use of poetic device, the more beautiful the poem is. This is just a layman term. Now, let us see the first line. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. We'll take these few lines and try to make out the figures of speech. Uh, yes, you are right. Uh, Let us see. There is one my, right? Then yes. So if you take up alliteration, the sound of the consonant M is repeated in the words my and morning. Consonant sounds, when they are repeated more than once in the poem lines, then the figure of speech is alliteration. Yes, see, which is this M for mother, M for morning, right? M for my. So the sound M is repeated, so the figure of speech is alliteration. So the first figure of speech is alliteration. Now, when I am reading this line, driving from my parents' home uh, to Cochin last Friday morning. See, driving morning. In the same line, there is an internal rhyming scheme. Fine. So, when there is an internal rhyming in the same line, then the figure of speech is internal rhyme, right? So we can say that here we can see two figures of speech. One is alliteration, M sound is being repeated twice, and the other is yes, internal rhyming, driving and morning. Now let us go to the next line. I saw my mother besides me, doors open, mouth. See, I saw my mother besides me, doors opened, mouth. We'll take up to this portion. So when I take up to this portion, I saw my mother besides me, open mouth. Again, very simple. There is a repetition of the consonant sound M, right? I saw my mother, doors open, mouth. M, M, M. So the figure of speech is again, yes, you're right, alliteration. Now there's one more figures of speech which is very simple. See, I saw my mother besides me, doors open, mouth. Doors open, mouth. Is the mouth sleeping? Is the mouth dozing? No. Here the face, or here the mouth, let us say the mouth stands for who? Yes, the whole mother. Not only the mouth is sleeping or dozing, but the mother actually is sleeping. So when you use the word for one word for the whole part, then the figure of speech is synecdoche. See, the spelling of synecdoche is synecdoche. One for the whole and whole for the part. Fine. So in this line, I saw my mother besides me, doors open, mouth. The figure of speech is yes, alliteration, M sound, and the second figure of speech is synecdoche. Now let us go to the third line. The third line over here is her face ashen like that of a corpse. Fine. Now if you remember, when I taught you figure of speech, if the word like or as is used and there is a comparison, her face is ashen like what? A corpse. Fine. So when like or as is used, the figure of speech is simile. There is a direct comparison between the poet's mother and the corpse. Fine. So here, her face ashen like that of a corpse. The first figure of speech is simile. And again, mother is not used, the word mother is not used, but the face is used. So one for the whole and whole for the one. The figure of speech is Again, synecdoche. Fine. Very good. Now let us go to the next one. And realized with pain that she was old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. Right? When I say and realized with pain that she was old as she looked, but soon put that thought away. See, again, if you see, try and find out. Chalo, I am telling you the figure of speech is alliteration. Now, yes, find out the consonant ones which are being repeated. You are right. The sounds of consonant P is repeated in the words. Yes, identify the word starting with P. Pain, put. Yes, very good. So in that sense, alliteration is the figure of speech, and the word or the consonant that is repeated is P. Fine. Again, a very simple figure of speech is there in that. There is repetition. Now please look at the words which are repeated for poetic effect. The word she. See, she was old as she. Again, she is used. Fine. So when two words are repeated for poetic effect or to stress something, then the figure of speech is repetition. So in these lines, there are two figures of speech, alliteration and repetition. Fine. Now let us go to the next line. And looked out at young trees sprinting. Fine. And looked out at young trees sprinting. Can trees sprint? Can trees run? Can trees have a competition? No, actually humans have this way. There is a human quality given to trees. When we give a human quality to tree, yes, then the figure of speech is personification. So in this line, and looked out at young trees sprinting, when we are giving the quality of sprinting to trees like a human being, the figure of speech is personification. Very good. The next, let me see. Yes, there is an overstatement that the trees are sprinting. Can trees sprint? वो तो बात की बात है. But they are running fast. Sprinting usually is done for 100 meters, right? So it has a dash. So there is an overstatement here. When we exaggerate or when we overstate something in the lines, like looked at young trees sprinting, then the figure of speech is hyperbole. Hyperbole. An overstatement that the trees are sprinting, right? Hyperbole. Fine. So in these lines, again there are two figures of speech. One is giving the quality of sprinting to trees like a human being, personification, and sprinting that to trees is an overstatement, so it is a hyperbole. Let us move to the next sentence. The merry children spilling out of their homes. The merry children spilling out of their homes. Now there is an important figure of speech marked over here. The group of children that is coming out of the house. Yes, the word used here is spilling. What does spill? Do humans spill? Do grains spill? No. It is a liquid, like the tea is spilling or the water is spilling. So, the group of children or the merry children which is coming out of their homes is compared to something spilling. Now, this comparison is not direct. So when there is an indirect comparison between two things of like the merry children and spilling out of their homes, yes, you are right, the figure of speech is metaphor, right? Indirect comparison between two things, like here merry children and spilling out of their homes, then the figure of speech is metaphor. Again, there is a consonant sound th which is repeated, and the figure of speech is alliteration. Okay, so one good figure of speech, that is metaphor, and the other is alliteration. Now let us move towards the next part. I think the next part is on the next page. I looked again at her, wan, pale as a winter's moon. Okay, and this is one of the nice figures of speech used by the poetess over here. I looked again at her, wan, pale, and as a winter's moon. See, again, she is directly compared to what? The winter's moon. When there is a direct comparison between the poet's mother and the winter's moon by the use of the words as or like, then the figures of speech is, you're right, simile. The figure of speech is simile. Again, there's one more important figure of speech given here. The figure of speech is, let me explain it to you first. The figure of speech over here, wan, pale, see, they are trying to mean one and the same thing. They are meaning the one and same thing, that the poet is becoming weak or the poet is becoming pale, like that. So when unnecessary repetition of words meaning the same thing happen, like over here, wan, pale, meaning the same, then the figure of speech is tautology. What is the figure of speech? Tautology. I'll spell out the spelling. tautology. Tautology. Fine. So one is direct comparison between the mother and the winter's moon, so simile. And second, unnecessary repetition of words like wan, pale, meaning the same thing, and it is tautology. Fine. And as usual, the W sound, winter, wan, given in the same line. So the figure of speech is, you are right, it is alliteration. Fine. Let us move to the next sentence. The next sentence is, and felt a familiar ache, my childhood's fear. Familiar ache, my childhood's fear. See, ache means pain. How can your ache be familiar? See, we are familiar to people's habits. We are familiar of some people. We are familiar of the way they dress. We are familiar of the way they talk. Usually, to become familiar is a human quality. Okay, so when I give ache, that is an abstract idea, a human quality, then the figure of speech is, very good, personification. Very good. The inanimate thing like an ache given a human quality of being familiar, then the figure of speech is, very nice, personification. Okay, and again, which is the sound is repeated? Felt, familiar, fear. F sound or the F consonant is repeated, then the figure of speech is alliteration. Fine. Very good. The next line, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. Very simple figure of speech. See, soon, S consonant repeated again. So the figure of speech is, very good, alliteration. And the last line, all I did was smile and smile and smile. See, now the difference between repetition and alliteration. See, the word smile is repeated. So, if a word is repeated more than once, then the figure of speech is repetition. But a sound or a consonant like S, C, soon, S, then the figure of speech is alliteration. Fine. So we have gone through the figures of speech and the, what I can say, the poetic devices used in the poem My Mother at 66. A general instruction: please write these figures of speech in your notebook so that it would be easier for you to refer when time comes. Happy reading. This is Apeksha teacher saying bye.